the NBA Summer League. And we've kind of talked a little bit about it. We talked with Mark Funky Cole Medina about Bronny. But Bronny, I would say maybe as to be expected, because he's young. He's 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously didn't have a tremendous college career the 1 year he was at USC. And he's had some tough sledding in the Summer League so far. He's played 3 games. These are his numbers, Martin. 6 for 26 shooting in his 3 games. That's 23%. 0 for 12 from three-point land. And that poor shooting is kind of a continuation of what he experienced in college, where at USC he shot 36.6% overall and just 26% on threes. So far, what do you make of Bronny James? And do you think does it tell you anything? Maybe not. Maybe you're like, we'll give him time. Or maybe you're like, this tells me a lot of what I need to know about what the future holds for him. So where are you at on what we've seen so far from Bronny, and does it mean anything?
I think it means something, but not a lot. A very little something, right? Because in Summer League, to me, when I'm looking at these rookies and second-year players who are playing in Summer League, I want to see your ability to do well, which you already did well, right? Like if you are a top-of-the-line rebounder and you go in the Summer League and all of a sudden you're getting 1 and 2 rebounds and guys are pushing you off your spot, I'm concerned. If you were a scorer like Terrence Shannon, for example, the draft pick from Minnesota, he led the Big Ten in scoring. Goes in the Summer League, he's still getting buckets. Okay, cool, got it. Now, is he a shutdown defender? No, but I didn't expect that because I expect in Summer League for you to do what you were already good at, right? Unless they're asking you specifically to work on something. So I see Bronny playing on the defensive side of the ball. He's okay. He's staying in front of people for the most part. That's what I expected. I didn't expect him to come out and start shooting, 40% from 3 because at no point in the career of his that I covered have I expected him to shoot 40% from 3. That comes later, in my opinion. So it's not my major cause for concern for me. It's just something that he needs to work on.
Yeah, I agree. Look, the defense, I think, has been fine. We know that you don't lock down top offensive players, even if you're a great defender. Reed Sheppard got the best of him the other night. And Reed Sheppard, let's just take a moment.
He's been getting the best of a lot of people.
Yeah, this guy looks – I was hoping that he was going to go to San Antonio to play with Wembanyama. But they got Stephon Castle, who I think looks like he's going to be really good as well. I love his talent. So they'll be fine, I think. But Reed Sheppard looking really good as the point guard of the Rockets. And it is Summer League. You can't get too high or too low off what you see in Summer League. I've seen guys look phenomenal in Summer League and can't get off the bench in the NBA. I've seen guys play poorly in Summer League and they end up being really good NBA players. So to your point about Bronny, you just I'm not jumping to conclusions on this. I think, a lot of the talk has been he can be a good defender. If you have the athleticism and the strength, which he does, right? I'm not saying he's Allen Iverson athletically, but he's a plus athlete. He's strong. You can see his body. He's well built. He's strong. He can be a good defender, and he's clearly putting forth the effort. And I used to tell this, Martin, to some players in the league when I was, covering it on a daily basis as a beat writer.
Right.
And I would say to some guys need to, like, if you're not a star, and in fact, if you're a fringe NBA player, or maybe you're one of those guys just hoping to get in a rotation, you need to find your niche.
Yep.
Okay? Like Bruce Bowen found his niche. It was defense, and oftentimes that's it. Sometimes it might be rebounding, but the dirty work. I'm going to be a great defender. And over time, if you're a great defender and they have to put you on the floor, we see Herb Jones, Jaden McDaniels. Like, we see guys like this who kind of get their place in the league, PJ Tucker, by being very good, aggressive, hard-nosed, tough-minded defenders.
Yep.
And then over time, you can add the three, right? That corner three. Add that. And now you're a rotation guy and a critical one. And so I could see Bronny doing some of that. It's interesting. They clearly, like, he's not playing much point guard at all. And I get it. He's not, I guess, okay, he's not a point guard. He's the size of a point guard, though.
Right.
You know, and so, but they've got him off the ball. And he can work on his shot. Look, his dad was not, dad obviously on a whole nother level as a player, but his dad was not a great shooter, obviously, early in his career. And he has become a good three-point shooter. So if Bronny keeps working on it, I would think that he can improve that. And, you know, the defense is, do you want it? By all means, he's a hard worker. I was glad to see him talk about being willing to play in the G League because he needs to. Like, I don't see him playing much, if at all, with the Lakers this year. So where are you going to get your reps? And it's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging for him. I don't expect him, Martin, to go to the G League and put up numbers. I do not. But I expect him to grow, get better as a player, figure out what he can really do well in this, you know, against professional players. But and that's not, look, Alex Caruso didn't put up great numbers in the G League, but he obviously became a good NBA player. So I'm not saying that as an indictment. I'm just saying I'd be shocked if Bronny went down there and was dropping 20-something a night or something like that.
Yeah, I would be too. I think that the key for him, like you said, is finding something to get him on the floor, right? And if he's not going to be a point guard, he's going to have to guard point guards.
Right.
So if he can lock down point guards and he can pair him next to a bigger guard next to him who is going to be able to handle some more of the ball handling ability, but I'd like to see him handle the ball more in the G League. Like, I think he needs to go down.
Aren't you a little surprised? Like, I knew he wasn't a strict point guard, but like they rarely have him on the ball, it seems.
I think that needs to change in the G League. I think if he's going to make it in the league, he's going to have to be a pass-first point guard who is a lockdown defender of the one spot. You know what I'm saying?
Who can hit the open three.
Who can hit open threes, exactly. And that is an archetype that we saw for a ton of years in the NBA. Like, it's not so much now that you have pretty much anybody bringing the ball up the court. But prior to, like, Andre Miller comes to mind, who's a guy who was not a great shooter.
He was a great passer, though.
But a great passer, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But he could stay on the floor because you pair him with a dynamic two-guard or a dynamic wing and get him the ability to set guys up.
Like an Eric Snow.
Yep, exactly.
Right next to Allen. Now, of course, that was a whole different NBA when the three-point shot wasn't as prominent. But, you know, look, Bronny's talked about, and I give him credit, you know, for a comp, Davion Mitchell.
Yep.
It's a good comp. Like, tough little defender and can hit the three. That's what Bronny, you know, should at least initially aspire to.
Yeah, I think, and that's the way he gets on the court first. It's like you maximize what you're best at, and then you work on all your flaws. Because what you're best at can get you out there. I disagree. I think he will be on the Lakers roster to start the season.
Oh, I think he will, and I think he'll go back and forth.
And I think he'll get NBA minutes, not a ton, but enough to get that father-son game out of the way. And then
they should get that out of the way.
I think they get it out of the way early, first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, preferably in a big Lakers win, right? You can't do it when they're losing. So the Lakers got to get out in front of somebody. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they got the Hornets early in the schedule, something like that. Somebody they can get out ahead of early, play them out there for like 5 or 10 minutes in a 20-point fourth quarter, right? Something along those lines.
Right.
And then once the South Bay season opens down there in the G League, that is where he will stay and be parked. Go ahead and get an apartment down there because that's where you're going to be at, you know.
Now, he's got to develop. But guys are going to really go hard at him down there. And as they should.
They should. I mean, I think guys in college were going hard at him.
Oh, yeah. I think, you know, you see Bronny getting cheers from the crowd, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad, you know, that he's getting treated. For the most part, I think, people are kind of handling it with kid gloves. They know he's in a challenging situation. I don't want to make it like it's torture for him because obviously it's a blessing, right?
Sure.
He wouldn't be in the league without LeBron. So I think people are taking it easy on him, trying to be patient with him. But ultimately, it's going to come down to, like, he's going to really have to stand on his own. Now, he does have the 4-year deal or 3 years guaranteed, which is great for him. But at the end of the day, this is going to come down to, him getting it done on his own outside of LeBron.
Yeah, right now he's a novelty, right? Yeah. Right now he is a novelty when you're looking at the different, like you say, the fans going crazy for him. It kind of gives me the same vibes as when you watch a college basketball game and it's towards the end of the season and they're chanting, "We want the manager," or whoever. You know what I'm saying? To come in the game, like
right. And you don't really want that, right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm Bronny, you don't want to be a novelty. No.
But so you know what I mean? It's like the walk-on guy. Everybody when he comes in,
yeah.
When he comes on the court, everybody goes crazy for him. Right, exactly. But ultimately, whether or not he is an NBA success or failure is going to be determined about his game and how he can improve it. And I think going to the G League is going to be the answer because that novelty wears off very, very quickly, especially when you're taking up a roster spot.
Yeah, nah. And I would. You're thankful to your dad for getting you this opportunity, but now it's like I want to stand on my own 2 feet, and I want to earn this, and I want to, have people judge me on my game and not my name, so to speak. Rob G had whispered something into my ear.
I say you guys are turning Bronny into the human victory cigar.
I didn't turn him into nothing. I don't know if you watched any of these Laker games, but that's how it sounds.
Right.